the sun comes up, before the world gets loud. Most got a diet pop, her thoughts unbound. From Sharnado facts to conspiracy flair, aliens, ghosts, and bad 80s hair. It's Musings with Mo, you never quite know where the words will wander or how deep they'll go. Unfiltered, unscripted, wild in the brain. It's chaos and comfort, nothing quite the same. It's Musings with Mo, she's on a roll, serving big thoughts with a side of soul. One part snark, two parts strange delight, streaming live from the edge of night. It's Musings with Mo.
Good morning, everyone. And we have more Kody douchery in the news. Apparently, Robyn is worried about her smexy life with Kody Brown. And if you needed a diet, motivation, I'm pretty sure the thought of both of them cryy and goofy getting it on will have, produced mental images that make it unfathomable to imagine this, the physics and cringe behind it. Kody Brown is apparently struggling getting used to one wife. Well, he ignored 4 for a greater part of 9 years, so I'm sure ignoring 1 versus 4 is better. Again, my favorite characters were always Christine and Janelle. Marie and Robyn were too emotional. I like Janelle. Janelle is me as a partner. I do have my moments where my girly emotions take over, but I generally like to look at big issues with logic and, not be emotional about it. Ladies, run free, never go back. And Kody never wants to go back into polygamy. And Robyn's like, I didn't want to be married alone. Almost like you shouldn't have been a bitch burrito the entire 9 seasons and, totally monopolized Kody for yourself. Not that that's a big old thing that most people like, but the team behind Epstein Trump statue reacts to its removal. I don't understand. The healthiest dark chocolates. Look, I don't want to... Ooh. Look, I have decided I really want a Dyson Airwrap, but I refuse to spend $300 on a hair dryer. So I'll be waiting until Dyson comes out with a new Airwrap and then looking at Marketplace and other things. I will never pay full price for this. I don't know how it sparked a fight. Let's see this, because I am confused how you got a really cool gift and then suddenly he's the asshole. One man thought he was treating his girlfriend to a special surprise. Instead, he might have sparked the fight of a year. In a post on Reddit's Am I the A-hole subreddit, a man explains that he and his girlfriend have been dating for 3 years. They both work at the same company and frequently socialize with coworkers. When they started dating, both were at lower levels, but he has since climbed a few tiers in the workplace. With a recent pay raise, he wanted to treat his girlfriend to something special. She'd been dropping hints about an Airwrap. He writes, I earn good money, so last week I've been doing higher level duties at work and got a pay raise, and I thought that, I would splurge. Here's where things went sideways. All Dyson Airwraps... Oh, shoot. I thought it was $700 damn dollars for a hairdryer. Stop the insanity. $700? It better also vacuum my house and give me a handy, or give Mr. Mo a handy. Nearly daggone $1,000 for a frickin' Airwrap. Go away. Now, they all retail for about $750 and they look the same to him, so he asked one of his female coworkers on advice for which one to buy. Then the girlfriend found out. Now, my girlfriend is mad because it's embarrassing having this other person know how much I'm spending, he writes. It also gives the appearance that my girlfriend's only dating... No, I love women. I love us women because we can make leaps of logic beyond any person or species before us. Because what a man sees is that I put the laundry very close to the laundry basket, so it's good enough. Now, what a woman sees is that he is disrespectful, he doesn't appreciate me and what goes on in this house, and he is challenging my authority. Now, all the man did was be lazy and just not get his pants fully into the laundry basket. So he's like, yeah, I'm lazy. Us women have taken it to he's a lazy and selfish some SOB who doesn't pay attention to me. I Again, you're getting a nearly daggone $1,000 worth of a hairdryer. I don't care. Verdict, he's not the asshole, but I wouldn't keep the girlfriend. Mo goes full MGTOW. Oh, goodness. Let's see what the female news has to us. For us, let's see here. Kendall Jenner has been slammed for her very lackluster performance in a new Vogue ad. I barely know who Kendall Jenner is, so I really don't care. Doctors reveal. Okay, so NDA or NAD plus are the treatment, the secret to boosting fertility. Now, I don't need any help. In fact, I am actively, not giving this because I don't need any help with fertility. I promise. That being said, if this does help different people who are suffering with the heartbreak of infertility, I do help. I do hope that this will be a therapy that insurance will generally, cover in the future. That being said, if it's something that can help, I do hope that it is something that can help normal people, not just celebrities. A lot of the treatments that aren't covered under insurance are cost prohibitive. I mean, look at my infusions. It's not covered by insurance, and they are $1,000 for 3 infusions, and that's the cheapest. Or actually, it went up to 1,300. But comparatively for other clinics, it is $1,000 per infusion. Now, the reason the infusions might not have worked for me in the past or worked as effectively is typically in the protocol that they use for CRPS. It is 9 days or 9 infusions spread out. And that is just cost prohibitive. So we are trying, to figure that out. But it is a little bit, difficult to deal with, treatments that are available but aren't covered by insurance. And I do hope that this can help regular people, not just the rich people who want to, sit on their eggs till they're 42 and then try to get this to work. Let's look at what health is. Well, apparently young people's risk factor for dementia has doubled. That's always good. Oh my God. I don't want to pay for a subscription, but I might be tempted because basically these exclusive from the Daily Mail are behind a paywall, but I'm kind of willing to invest however many dollars to learn how steroids are turning the men gay. I feel like Alex Jones would be there. Should be here, should be covering this. I don't know. Now I do have, I believe, this one pulled up because it looks like the shutting down of schools actually affected children significantly. It's almost like every parent who said, hey, my kids, are really struggling with this at school stuff. They've lost their friends. They feel like hermits, that kind of thing. It does seem like, excuse me, that would be something that they would excuse me, figure out. We are going to have so much Lord Chippy today. I've actually got no, maybe five. But there's a lot going on in Lord Chippydom. And I do have the press conference. It looks like it is all of 13 minutes so we'll start with that. And then it does look like there is going to be a marina conference, a marina press conference at 11. Now, I won't be doing that right as it goes, but as soon as Megan goes off, I'll probably set up a live stream and see if Megan can feed into that. That way we can cover that somewhat contemporaneously because it will be at 12. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. I am also picking Rosalind Duke's brain about what font and cute ideas I should do for two merch ideas. Not a doctorologist. I'm not a doctorologist, and then unpaid expertologist. So I am working on those. I do have a Lord Chippy one that I'm working on. This, I will say, is not my can of worms. So I did reach out to her because all I was thinking was block letters, and I know that's not particularly funny. That being said, we are working on that. I see Baker got new grift merch. It's hilarious and I love it. So definitely going to be looking at that. Now, Final Form Jesus is just going to be all the ridiculous. Yeah. Another consequence of the COOF lockdowns, shutting schools could have led to a surge in STDs among teens. Wait, you're telling me that teens who are socially isolated and yet out of school would hook up with each other to, pass the boredom, monotony, and absolute confusion of unreality that we lived in for several years? Again, I mean, these kids weren't coping well. We weren't coping well. We are a social species. As much as I, joke that I'm an inside cat, I still need human interaction. And we have screwed up an entire generation. Gen A can't read because their early formative years, those years where those skills are really supposed to be hammered on, were taken away. My son's dyslexia wasn't diagnosed or even caught until he was in the second grade for the second time. Now, I will say praises are worthy of his current school. They have a teacher that is specialized in teaching dyslexic students. He is learning, skills. And he's like, I'm sorry, Mom, I don't read very good. And I said, honey, I had the same thing as you. It took me a long time and they didn't quite diagnose it in me, so, but I found books that I liked and then I became a voracious reader. But you don't have to become a voracious reader. If reading isn't your jam, you don't have to read for fun. You just need to be able to read so that you can do what you want to do. And, if you have to cover the D or use any of your special tricks, then use them and don't let anyone make you feel bad about them. Your brain is just a little bit different and reads words different, and that's okay. I do want him to reread the Percy Jackson. We might get the audiobooks because all of the kind of demigods in there were dyslexic and ADHD, and my son deals with both of those. And it would be probably really comforting and, just for him to realize that other kiddos are going through this too. Now, I mean, again, isn't this just a Tuesday in San Francisco? I'm not trying to be a heifer or a bitch. What in the name of Cheetos in a handbasket am I looking at? Okay, so that's a man wearing horseshoes drawing his lady friend on a. Sir, I get the t-shirt, but I don't think you need to advertise I do have eye. What in the name of clopia. Again, I just imagine this is a normal Tuesday in San Francisco. I mean, I'm confused. I'm really confused. Did the, what in the name of, oh, butt cheeks. Oh, I was so worried about the latex. I I continue to be confused. Like, again, I don't care what you do. If you like to dress up as Wile E. Coyote and your girlfriend, lady friend, as, you know, the Roadrunner, I have absolutely no problem with that. I just wouldn't like it to see it on my streets unless I ask. That being said, good night, nurses. I just assume this is how people go to Walmart in San Francisco. I know that's probably a gross, stereotype of San Francisco and what I imagine it to be as a, homebody Midwesterner, but I honestly don't see anyone turning a head if someone goes to Walmart dressed like this. They'd probably give them free groceries. I don't. Ooh, Fetware for free groceries. That might be a mow in the wild thing as long as I can go to a completely different town, wear a wig, and my mother never finds out. Because as much as I joke about disappointing her, I kind of don't want her to have to write in the holiday Christmas letter of lies what her daughter was doing dressed up as, a petty corn going to Walmart to pick up vodka. I don't know what I'd pick up, honestly, if I were dressed as a. But there you go. So we have Mornings with Mo. We will do the 8 p.m. press conference. If there are further or upcoming press conferences, I will keep an eye on that. Then we will be going over to Megan's stream. And then directly after Megan's stream, I will probably go in and do the Marina or Southport press conference that they were going to be having on Monday. Obviously, they're going to have a lot more information, this being, several days after this. It happened on a Saturday night. They've had all Sunday, and it does look like we are dealing with a veteran mental health crisis. And I know musings with Mo are generally fun, but there are a lot of veterans who are not getting the help that they need. And I don't want to have any more of these. So, how about we gut the VA and figure out why it is that most PTSD, patients at the VA have to go through a minimum of like 3 to 4 psychiatrists to try to explain very, very sensitive, painful things. Because once you go to a new psychiatrist, you have to tell the story all over again, start that, build that trust. And it's just, you give up. You don't want to do that again. These are extremely painful, things that they're trying to get the tools to deal with, not have to relive every new doctor that it gets shoved onto. Now, I'm not saying because it is too early to know about the Michigan thing, but I read you the story about the Marina. He thought that white supreme pizzas, the people that like to paint with all the colors of beige that might have dressed up as ghosts in their past. Love that we have to use language creoles or YouTube will be mad at us. But we are learning that he thought that the LGBTQ white supreme pizzas went over to Iraq to, use a force multiplier on him because of what he knew. So this was not a well man. But there you go. That is what we will be covering today, and I hope you enjoyed these musings. I continually wonder what the hell is going on with people, but we wouldn't have What in the Walmart Rapture Final Form Jesus, and we wouldn't have Lord Chippy if people behaved themselves. It would be a very short Mornings with Mo, which I could deal with. I could deal with just absurd stories and crazy ridiculousness that no one cares about. Oh, for the love of God, why are people such absolute doofuses? Look, you have big boobs, you have small boobs. You always want the other one. I'm going to tell you right now, I would love to be the president for the itty bitty, committee. That being said, I got to be, a co-member of the over-the-shoulder boulder holder committee, and I would rather be the itty bitty president. I'm not just a client, I'm the president. I loved those Rogaine commercials or whatever. I can't remember what it was. Men's Hair Club. That, yeah. And what people tend to forget is that every plastic surgery is still a surgery. And I feel terrible for this 14-year-old girl and the family because these are surgeries. These aren't, just injecting something into somewhere. These are actual surgeries that carry all the same risks as a regular surgery that isn't cosmetic. Edema, um, you know, clots, different things. And people need to be very aware of this kind of thing. Anyways, I hope to see you guys on Mornings with Mo over at Megan's and then over on the marina. And then finally tonight we have Disturbed with Shizzy. We will be going over more of the very start of the legal actions that Twin Flames universe is involved with. Now we are currently on the Twin Flames universe where all of this started, where they started going after former members. And I will point out that some of the former members might have done some things that could be adjudicated. Now, these cases have all been adjudicated, but we are aware of the Michigan Attorney General investigating Twin Flames universe. So check that out tonight at 6. And I will see you all later. Have a wonderful day if I don't see you.